Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram. Welcome to this session as a continuation of our Sunday Summer Series, Summer Sunday Series. Last week we discussed about game of life. It is often misconstrued by many that to lead a spiritual life or a religious life is to abandon the body, abandon the physical well-being, which is unfortunately not true. Physical body's health is as much essential as mental health is. For there is a very intimate connection between mind and the body. Next slide. If you see, it does not mean that those who have skin rash must be a very bitter person. It's not the other way around. Or you have stiff joints means you are a very depressed person. It's not that. It's very likely, as we have seen last session also, psychosomatic disorders. But meaning our psychological system or psychological makeup of our personality surely has got an effect on the physical well-being. Similarly, frustration, confusion, anger, if it is predominantly within a person, then that person will suffer most of the time common cold, pneumonia. If the mind is full of anxieties, impatience, greed, then the body will show up as high blood pressure, migraine headaches, ulcers, hearing problems, heart attacks. I'll give you a simple example. Years back, 7 years back, we were in the center called Kashi, 8 years back, Anaheim. Then we decided to open up another center in this Tustin area. So we went and looked for a place, and then finally we bought a church. That was not in a very good condition. A lot of work need to be done. So one of our members, CMLA board members, Dr. Iyer, he took a lot of initiative to do a lot of changes inside the construction. All done within a span of 3 months. February we bought the property, June it has to be inaugurated by Guruji who is coming. A lot of work need to be done, day and night. Like here also we are doing it within the summer, we want to finish this temple project. So when this was going on, the city had certain specific requirements. We more or less met everything, but few of the things the church which was there before did not do. Only when you open up you see what are the things which are not there. Similar to the body also, when you open up only, oh my God, there is no heart at all in this person. So when we did that, a lot of work came because we thought we will finish in within a given period of time, but many things could take more time. I was under great pressure. And you would not believe, I had skin rash. All over my body. This whole area was full of rash. So I was quite surprised because I did not have any skill issues. Went to the doctor. Doctors, as usual, they said, okay, you have to send it to, what called? Biopsy. Not autopsy, biopsy. We have to send it, find out what's happening. Maybe it is some blood problem and this and that. I was very scared. Anyway, I gave it for sample and then waited for some time and put some kind of lotion. I went to not only a homeopathy, allopathies we went, allopathy, homeopathy, and then put some ointment, whatnot. Somehow or the other, the program went well, everything got settled. June 11th or so, it got inaugurated. 10 days after that, there was no rash at all. Biopsy came back saying that it is nothing malignant or nothing. There's no problem. Gone. I was quite surprised. What is that which came and what just suddenly disappeared from the scene? Anxiety. Anxiety is the cause for this. So you see, even when you're dreaming, let us say, and you have a very bad dream, your blood pressure will go high, you will sweat, your heart will pump more. Why? Is it that physically anything you are encountering as a problem? Is there somebody threatening you physically? No, it is here. Is it not? When your mind is thinking that you are running for life, you have somebody dangerously attacking you. Even when the imagination can pump your blood high. So there is a very intimate connection between how you think and how your body will behave. Similarly, if you are cynical, you are very pessimistic, you are defeatist mentality, low self-esteem, then it will be low blood pressure, anemia, kidney disorders. If you have a revulsion, fear, guilt feeling, then very possible that you are prone to accidents, cancer, lack of immunity. So this is where the connection between body and mind should be understood. In the Upanishad it is said, Nayamatma balahinena labhyaha na maitaya na bahuna shrutena. In Mundaka Upanishad it is said, Na ayam atma balahinena labhyaha. Balahinena, but one who lacks strength, balahina. One who lacks strength. Na atma labhyaha. The higher truth cannot be obtained by a weakling. Not only physically, but also mentally. A person who is weak by mind, by body, cannot have the ability and sustaining ability to reach the highest truth. So as much as a person must be physically strong to achieve any physical results in this world, so also for spiritual goals. So what is said in our Shastra? It comes from Swadhina Swastha. Go ahead. Okay. So this particular verse from a text from our own ancient Vedic literature. Dehe sarvatra saushnasya. Okay, let me. Dehe sarvastra chaushnasya samata lagavam sukam chut tikshna goda nidra cha. This thing is not clear here. Dehe sarvasya chaushnasya samata lagamam sukam shut tikshna guda nidra cha manasobi prasannata sharire karma samartyam analasya cha karmasu swada svedodgam kale swastadam lakshayantihi. This is coming from Swadhina Swastya Mahavidya. What it means is, dehe in the body, sarvatra cha ushnasya. Body should have a warmth which is same throughout the body. Press the next. Even warmth all over the body. First one. Second is lagavam sukham. Physical body should have light weight. You should not become a heavyweight champion. Should be lightweight. You must be able to carry your weight at least. If not, expect anybody else to carry. You know, one person came back from, hey, what are you trying to do? This light you put, no, I am in the darkness now. So, one person came back from church. As soon as he came, he took his wife and started carrying her wife. He started dancing around, moving around. So wife asked, what happened? The priest there in the temple, he said that, this is what he said. What? Carry me? No, he said carry your own burden. So anyway, it doesn't matter. So, you must be at least carry your weight. So, lightness of the body. Third one is Shub Tikshna, keen hunger. Hunger is the indication of healthy body. Not the way the youth has, the children. They keep on eating that cookies, going and coming, and that is not hunger. That is a habit. Hunger is at times when you need the food, the body demands it, and you know the body now needs the food. Not out of fancy or habit. That is the real hunger that prompts you to eat. Shuttikshna. Guda nidra, deep sleep. Next one. Deep sound, that means lot of sound and deep sleep. Manasobi prasannata. Next one. Mind should be cheerful. Grouching all the time, complaining all the time. Nothing is useful in my body. I'm useful in this life. Nobody wants me. If you are like that, anybody will come anywhere near you. Manasobi prasannata, cheerfulness of the mind. Sharire karma samartyam, ability of the body to do at least the usual routine work. Not getting tired too easily. So, sharire karma samartyam, ability to function and finish your work. Analasya cha karmasu. Not having laziness and postponing anything and everything you give, postpone. Till the last minute. It's called Dirgha Sutra. Dirgha Sutra means a long rope. Anything you say, dekenge, kal karenge, kal karta hun. So anything that is given, if it is possible, do it today. Finish it off. That's why it is said, if you want any work to be done, give it to a person who is very busy. Because he is anyway busy, he will get that also done. You give it to a person who does nothing, he will do nothing also for you. So, analasya. Alsi means, laziness. Analasya cha karmasu. Swataha svedodgamaha kale. And timely, regular elimination of ficus and filth from your body. This is another important thing. Some people keep it for days together. Go next to them. Body should be cleansed every day, at least once or twice. Clean it up. Nothing should be there in your stomach. These are considered as the indications of healthy body. Swadhina Swasthya Mahavidya. It is interesting in China, next. In China, ancient days, there was a practice. Family doctor was given monthly remuneration, and if it would be proportionally reduced if any member of the family falls sick during the month. Interesting, Doctor should be, let's say, $100 a month. If anybody falls sick, only $50. Why did he fall sick? Is because of you. So the responsibility of the doctor is to make sure everybody is healthy. It is not when you are unhealthy, you go to the doctor. Doctor will come running to you. Why are you unhealthy? Come on, my money is at stake. Next. Trini rupani roganam vigneyanyatra dhimata rupam sthulam cha sukshmam cha karanam cha tridiyakam vyaktam nama bhavet sthulam sukshmam avyakta rupakam karanam manasi doshaha vishayasakti rupakaha. Disease may exist in one of the three forms. Trini rupani rogani. Three forms. Vigneyan, atra, dhimata. By intelligent people, this should be understood. Three forms of disease. First, rupam sthulam. First one is sthula rupam, gross. It's called patent disease. Sukshmam, subtle, latent. Karanam, causal. This is primal, which exists abnormality of the mind. So they have considered abnormality of the mind is the primary cause of any disease. That's why they have divided into Adi and Vyadi. Vyadi is what happens in the body, Adi is what happens in the mind. Visheshena Adi iti Vyadi. Mind is the primary cause of your problem, the disease, and it expresses as Vyadi. The latent disease, which is subtle, is simply lowered health due to encumbrance of the body with uneliminated bodily waste, toxic filth. I mean, bodies, whatever you intake, it is not properly processed and it is not eliminated properly. That means it has not done the work of digestion, it remains. That is called latent disease. When the body makes, next, as I talk, keep going, latent disease, and then when body makes a special and vigorous effort to eliminate toxic filth, it appears to be patent disease. It tries to get out the filth from your body, and it cannot, it gets into trouble. So the primal one is due to dissatisfaction of the mind. Primal, latent and patent. Primal is the mind, latent is inability to eliminate the toxic filth from the body, and the patent disease is where the body suffers because of that and it tries hard to get over it. So why am I talking about all these things? Next. Hippocrates, who very clearly said, natural forces within us are the true healers of the disease. Healthy body means, you know what is this? You might have seen in my website. Heal thy body. Healthy, if you split it, what is it? Heal thy body. You can heal your own body. That is called healthy. So natural forces within us are the best healers of the disease. So in Ayurveda and other such sciences, medicines are less, treatment is more. Meaning, how you can yourself solve the problem is what is taught. By dieting, by healthy habits, by proper understanding of the imbalances and how to balance it. Treatment. Meaning that patients should participate in the whole process. Here what we do, it is your responsibility to give me the medicine. Whether I take it or not is not enough your concern. While taking also should have the cheerfulness of the mind. The faith that this medicine will heal me, and should be very sincere in taking that medicine and participate in the changes that needs to be done in my lifestyle to make sure that it doesn't reoccur. That's why Ayurveda means it is about longevity of life. It is not just, sustaining life with medicine. Now, next, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita also talks about how one can take care of the physical health by proper intake of food. Now, before we go into what Gita says, next. What is the concept of body or the whole personality according to Vedanta? Now you see, the primary focus is there is self, Paramatma, the Lord's presence in us. And the self is, next, is referred as the spirit. It is by nature infinite. It is God's presence, seat of bliss, and it is beyond matter. This is the nature of the self. Yesterday I was giving a talk in UCLA, there was a program. It was about spirituality. So I told them, you must understand the difference between soul and spirituality. Spirit. A soul is what is there within us as individual. A spirit is universal. The individual is presently like a tree, a plant. A plant or a tree is an independent existence with the leaves and the flowers and the roots and the branches and everything. But it is potentially a fuel. When it is dry and in its contact with the spark of fire, it becomes a fuel, isn't it? Every tree is a potential fuel. In the same way, every soul is potentially spirit. Presently, we are caught up in our identification with this external garb. Therefore, we are unable to recognize the spirit within, and therefore, the primary focus of Vedanta is to make each one of us recognize essentially we are the universal spirit, presently functioning as individual souls. Until the spark of knowledge takes place. Once that hits a person, then Bhasmasat Kurude, Bhagavan Krishna says, Jnanagni dakta karmani Bhasmasat Kurude Arjuna. Like the fire of knowledge, when it takes place, the whole thing gets burnt. Meaning the soul individual doesn't exist anymore. So that is the seat. Within all of us is that self, individual self, presently identified with the body, etc. Next is After that, what is the next layer of our personality? Closest to the self is the intellect. This is like a mirror. It reflects the brightness and beauty of the self. Sada sarvagadobi atma na sarvatra avapasate buddho eva avapaseda swacheshu pradibimbavat. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, just like a sunlight or any light is reflected in a mirror when it is in the proximity of that light, so also an intelligence in us, intellect in us, is that which is constantly expressing the nature of the self in the form of awareness. I am aware of my existence. I am aware of all of you. Each one of you are aware of your own existence, everything. It is because there is this functioning of the intellect. And in human beings, it is very much fully functional, unlike in other living forms, where this expression of awareness is far less because of its preoccupation with eating and mating and sleeping. Pina Kana Sona. I call them Picassos. Because that is predominant. Other living beings, their intention is eat, make merry, or eat, sleep, and mate. That's all it is. As a human being can think, what can I do tomorrow? What should I do with my life? What can make me happy? What can make others happy? How do I able to extend my happiness? So this ability to think, comprehend, understand, plan, execute, that intelligence, that is closer to the self. Next layer that comes is our mind, which is intellect. Then you put mind next, and then press again, then it will give This is, mind is that which is influenced by past actions. It is experiencing the feelings and emotions, seat of all likes and dislikes. The elemental nature of the mind is fire. The elemental nature of intellect is space. So the 5 elements that are there, earth, water, fire, air, space. Space is compared to, or the elemental nature of the intellect is space. Elemental nature of the mind is fire. Because constantly it is burning, like a heat, like emotions and the feelings and likes and dislikes and wanting more. Like fire wants more and more and more and more, isn't it? Our mind is also like that. It's a seat of habits. If you are inclined to something, it wants more and more of the same experience. If it doesn't like something, it keeps away from that, it burns away. And by emotions and feelings also, we tend to react like that of the fire. Space, on the other hand, is all inclusive. It is expanded. So a person who has intellectual growth much more than anything else must be a person of all accommodating, all forgiving, inclusive, trying to work with others. There's a person who is emotional, strong likes and dislikes. I don't like it, I like it. I want this, I don't want this. So it is like, the nature of the fire. The next one is, that is our prana. This is in Vedanta known as Panchakosha Vivek also. Next is prana, sustained by air you breathe, source of all physical activity and energy, manages all physiological functions, digestion, blood circulation, etc. Elemental nature is air. So just like the air is the energy that which gives sustenance, and in the same way prana in our body is the sustaining power. That's why pranayama, etc. are the means by which an individual can keep one's health going on, and it is behind all activities, it is the fuel. If you have the prana properly functioning in your body, you will be active, you will be able to maintain your sustain your energy, and the food that you take also must have enough prana in that. The next one is our physical body, the gross body. This gross body is made of matter, food, created by food that is consumed by the parents. To start with, parents' food has turned into your body. You sustain yourself with the body, and it goes back to the earth, to the food. Elemental nature is earth and water. So this is the way our masters have understood the body. Body is made up of 5 parts. Annamaya kosha, which is made of earth and water, gross body. Pranamaya kosha, which is made up of air, which is a physiological system. Manomaya kosha, the other one that's made of air. Manomaya kosha, seat of feelings and emotions, which is made up of the fire. Vijnanamaya kosha, which is the intellectual sheath, which is the elemental nature is space. Then the causal body, which is of the nature of the self, Anandamaya. Closer to, but the causal body is considered a causal body because it causes all other bodies to come into existence. Now, masters have said that a physical body of a person has 3 states of experiences. First, waking state is where, as you see, the waking state is where all the aspects of your personality is functioning. Your body is functioning, your prana is functioning, your mind is functioning, intellect is there, and your vasanas or the latent tendencies are also equally present, and self is functioning through all of them. Body, prana, mind, intellect, everything is experienced, and causal body also blocks the awareness of the self. So what happens is, when all of them are functioning, the self, which is the core of our personality, as though is covered by all of them, because our attention is in all other things, what we see through the body and what we think in our mind and what we plan in our intellect. So we are preoccupied with all those things. This is state of waking, Jagrada Avastha. That is where most of you are. I'm not considering all of you are there, but most of you are there. Next one is the state of dream. Where REM is still present, random eye movement, where the mind is still present, but body you are not aware, prana you are not aware. Those 2 elements are not, those 2 aspects of your personality you are not aware. You are breathing, but you don't know that you are breathing. Your body is there, but you don't know that you are physically lying down somewhere. Emotions and feelings are experienced. Intellect is there, and also your causal body. So all the 3 aspects are there. The 2 are left behind. So this is a state of experiencing various things due to the influences of the causal body, creating thoughts combined with the memory. No awareness of the judgment or intellect at that time. Next. It's a deep sleep state where body is you are not aware, prana you are not aware, emotions are not there, intellectual functions of right and wrong is not there. You are at the causal level. Causal level covering the self. Only Anand, bliss, joyful sleep. Body is at rest, prana continues, mind, intellect not functioning due to influence of causal body. Only a peek into the self is experienced as bliss. No awareness of the intellectual functions. This is called deep sleep state. This we go through every day. Waking where you are right now. Some of you are sitting on the back and dreaming, so that is there. Or when you, before sleeping, you go and sit and dream, especially on a weekends, you have a lot of dreams because you have plans for next week, which never happens, but anyway you dream. Then, Slowly, if you have had a very heavy lunch, go to sleep. So all of us experience this. Now, next one, how the food affects our whole five personalities. That is Sukshma, Sthula, Sukshma and Karana Sharir, or Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya portion. Next. Food is the effect of interaction of the earth, water, air and fire. The food is a combination of all this. Now, what happens is, our ill health is due to excess of one thing over the other. Defect in this is due to excess or lack of one among the four. So, Bhagavad Gita says, these four elements, if one of them is excess, that is an imbalance there. In general, they say Kapha, Vata, Pitta. All the Ayurvedic people would know that. Kapha, water element, Vata, air element, Pitta, fire element. Earth is included in one of them. These three imbalance is sickness. So your food must have the balance of these three. When it is not there, your physical body will suffer. Now, where comes the air? Air is taken when you are eating the food itself. Air is taken both through the lungs and the skin. Understand, you are not only the nose is breathing, but your whole body is breathing. That is why, when you are in a very hot weather condition, don't wear coats. Tight coat, formal dress, you will be sweating inside, boiling inside, because the body does not have any provision to breathe. So, when you understand, the whole physical body is a breathing mechanism. Often you should make sure that your body is well moist so that the blockages are removed. Without that, when the physical body does not have a healthy breathing process, the skin will start showing up. All the dryness and then skin diseases are all because you are not allowing the physical body to breathe. Sunbathing, etc. are necessary because that is when the pores are open. Or take an oil bath where the pores are open. Sweat is the best way to make your body a breathing element. So when you run, when you do exercise where the body starts sweating, meaning you are opening the pores. So thereby the body has opened up itself and then it can take fresh air from outside. When it is blocked with so much of lotion and this thing and then always you cover it, the body stops to be a breathing equipment. Now fire, on the other hand, is availed through exposure of the body to sunlight, which gives double benefit: elimination through the perspiration and assimilation through production of vitamin D. And we are in sun country here. we have so much of sun available, but still we lack vitamin D. My doctor constantly says, Swamiji, you lack vitamin D. You have to take so much of it. I am in a place where the sun is most of the months, the sun is there, but we are not exposing it. Exposure to sun is so less, even though we are here. So, similarly, the food should be that which is exposed to sunlight. Most of the time it is canned and then it is kept in the fridge and it is very cold and you put it directly into the microwave. Sun's participation is not there. So, one should at least do some Surya Namaskar. Swamiji, I do every day, go out and do Namaskar to Surya. That is not Surya Namaskar. When the sun is up, before it becomes very hot, one should expose to the sunlight. So, sun in the form, fire is in the form of the sun, is also an important aspect to our physical health. Now, where comes the space? the access of the subtle force called ether or space very abundant in fasting. Defect is in this is due to absence of enough space for digestion. When you eat, it is said in our Upanishad very clearly, 1/3 of your stomach should be filled with food, 1/3 should be water, and 1/3 just leave it empty. Don't eat up to this. Many people eat full, stomach full, and then comes the sweet. It's called Rajabhoga, kingly royal food. Why? Just like when the king comes, everything gives away. When the food, the sweet comes, the body suddenly finds a space for it. Rajabhoga. Gujaratis are good, they give sweet first itself. Chalo, lelo. First itself, then it's no problem. Then it's done. Even in our South Indian thing also, we post a small little portion of the sweet first. Make sure that this is going to come in large quantity. Please leave enough space for that first. So, space is two forms. One is while eating also, 2/3 only you should fill up the body, because the body, what do you call, see, let us say, then you are putting something into that grinder, what do you call that? Food blender. I don't cook, so I don't know. If you put up to the brim, will it be able to cook, to process at all? You must have enough space for it to move around, right? You eat up to this point, where is the body, the food will even move. You also won't move afterwards. How does it digest? And also fasting once in a while also helps the body to create enough space inside. So I have talked about earth, water, fire, air, space. All of them are necessary for our physical body's well-being. Now Bhagavad Gita. Next. You waited too long. That's all done. Next. Next. Probably may not be able to read it. It's okay. I don't expect you to. Now you see, according to the food that you take, your mental your individual physiological system, physical and physiological system surely influence your psychological makeup. So, I have given a chart, press 2 more, 1 more, okay. The personality types are divided into 3, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. This is the broad classification of human personality according to Gita. Trigunatmika Maya. The nature of Maya, the nature of creation is of 3 kinds. These 3 kinds of nature which is present externally in the world is also internally in our mind. In other words, the kind of food that you take influences the way you think. The way you think will make you choose certain kind of food. Both way it is possible. Now, that is what is analysis about. The nature of a tamasic person is ignorance and laziness. In general, he doesn't want to learn anything. जो हो रहा है हो रहा है, जो होएगा होएगा, बस. I don't want to learn. Very relaxed, lazy. No enthusiasm to live, no enthusiasm to explore, no enthusiasm to understand. Look at your own teenagers, they are somewhere like that. Anything else? Do you want to eat? I don't know. Then who will know? Who will know whether you want to eat or not? Neighbor, your dog. So, no enthusiasm in life, no drive. They seek a lot of comfort in life. Coach potatoes. And in some of the houses when I go, I can see very clearly the sofa that is there, one part of it is constantly, more sad. I said, you sit here most of the, how do you know something? Yeah, you can see it. Lazy, comfort. And most of the time they are unhappy about themselves. Nothing is useful in this world. All are going to dollars. Nobody can do anything to this world. Distressed. Their movement is always downward. And their worship pattern is very beautiful. It is said in our Shastra, but I am not saying that this is applicable here. They worship spirits, demons, goblins, ghosts. They are like ghost stories very much. And they work and do things only for a wrong purpose. And if at all they engage in any kind of austerities, it is for self-torture. State of mind in general is tormented, agitated most of the time. And if at all they do any charity, it is for total unworthy cause. They don't even look into what they are giving for. If at all they take up to renunciation, it is fear of what is going to happen in their life. Freedom from fear. That is their purpose of running away from life. In religion, their religious vision is there is no God. There is no God. There is only, mutual forces that are working here. Like the science also does that. There is nothing called God. It's only we ourselves make up a concept of God, and therefore we are all responsible for what is happening here. There is no authority of anything of higher nature. So this way there is a list going on. Their mode of action is to cause harm. Their expressions is vulgar and distorted. Their power of reasoning is perverted and distorted. And motive of action is stupidity, of despair, and source of pleasure is chaos and pain. And their goal after death is darkness, hell. That's where they go finally. The next level is Rajas. It's already there in the next one. So the Rajas is, their nature is full of action, prompted by desire. Goal in life is to accomplish, to prove, to show to others that what I am worth. And the effect of that is stress and pain. They worship God for their personal benefit, personal egocentric desires. They like animal products, meat. In the case of tamasic people, they like all the decaying things, alcohol, all that are old, stale, petrified, useless. They find great pleasure in eating that. Whereas Rajasic people want something which is, hot, spicy, barbecued. Their austerity, if that all they follow any religious thing, is only to show off to others. It is for recognition. And their speech is very manipulating. In the case of Tamasic people, their speech is very harsh and lie, whereas in the case of Rajas, they are manipulative. Very sweetly they speak only to get their things done. Mind is agitated most of the time. And their idea of spirituality is freedom from sorrow. And their religious vision is, they worship God for the sake of personal gain, and therefore any form is okay so long as it gains something for me. So these are all the nature of these people, and their afterlife is their return back to earth is for sure. The nature of sattvic people is their nature is wisdom and happiness. They in general are happy and they seek wisdom. Their goal in life is enlightenment. Effect of that is generally mind is at peace. And they worship the highest truth, Brahman, and understanding that they worship all other gods. Their liking for food is mostly vegetables and fruits because they are more sattvic, not treated too much with chemicals or too much cooking and too much of masala and too much, all those things, which distorts the very nature of the food. They do work as a duty, and the speech is very straightforward and useful, and the mind is in general in the state of peace. The charity is for the right cause. The religious vision of such people is God is in everyone. In every form there is God. Their understanding. They act without attachment, and their power of reasoning is very calm and clean. Their vision of action is universal well-being. Source of pleasure is greater good, and the goal in life is to gain higher level of consciousness. This is how the Gita explains to us about. Now, next one is in general, we find that food also, or the body, and which is made of food, also has reasons to become fatigued, become weak, etc. The causes for that are given in the next slide. First and foremost cause for body's fatigueness, which also affects your mind, is constipation, which means due to accumulation of toxins in your body. Second one is unwanted drug in your body. Some people take vitamin tablets as their breakfast every day. What are you eating? Handful of vitamin tablets. Once I was in a conference with this one particular scientist, and I asked him simply, what kind of vitamin should I eat every day? He says, most of it you get it from your own proper food. And if you eat extra vitamin more and above your food, etc., which the body cannot assimilate, you will have a very costly urine coming out of you. Because you are unnecessarily adding more and more vitamin, body doesn't take it. It will just eliminate it. So unwanted drug in your body is the second cause of fatigue. Third one is wastage of sex vitality. Fourth one is lack of good rest or sleep. Fifth one is inflexible joints, muscles, or over-exercise. Some people overdo the things. Now, what are the remedies for this? Let's look at it. The remedies are constipation is use natural laxative, drink a lot of water, clear bowels every day. That's very important. The constipation. Ayurveda very clearly says, I read in a book, first and foremost cause for sickness is indigestion of food. Anything that you take in your body should be processed and get out. If it stays there, not processed, not digested, not eliminated, is a problem. Second one is unwanted drugs. Do not form a habit of taking drugs even for simple cold and cough. If you take a medicine for cough and cold, it will go in 7 days. If you leave it, it will go in 1 week. Choice is yours. Why do you unnecessarily pay for that? One person went to a doctor, and the doctor prescribes some medicine, and then he diagnosed him, and then at the end he said $100 for diagnosis. He paid $100. His friend was there. My God, $100 for just 10 minutes. What to do? The doctor has to survive. He took his prescription, went to the medical shop, and then he took all the medicines. He paid another $50 for the medicine. $50 for the medicine. What to do? That fellow has to survive, you see. Medical world, this pharmaceutical has to survive. Came back home, he took the whole medicine, put it in the trash. Hey, what are you doing? I have to survive, you see. So unnecessarily, small children, they put antibiotic. Antibiotic means, the physical body of a small child also is tortured with all sort of medicine. I'm not saying medicine is not necessary, but what I'm saying is where you can avoid, where you can treat yourself to the extent possible. Don't be in a hurry, jump. I have cold. Since when? Since yesterday night. Wait. Just treat yourself properly. Cover yourself well. One person went to a doctor and said, I have constant cold, and then what do I do? Since when? Yesterday. So he knows this fellow that this fellow is very anxious to get rid of it. He said, you go home, take some water from your fridge, take a cold bath, drink cold water, and put the full AC and lie down. I'll get pneumonia, and then you come, I'll treat you. Because this one will go away in another 2 days. Why are you so bothered about it? There are some doctors here, they will hate me. Third one is wastage of self-vitality. This is considered by our Shastra as a very important reason for physical fatigue. Married couples should be moderate, others practice self-control. In our Shastra it is said, the retention of the ojas in our body, sex vitality, is very important for spiritual growth. That strength that one gets, self-control, is helping a person in going to the different heights of meditation. It's called Urdhva Retas. It's one of the names of Shiva. Retas is the sex vitality. Urdhva, going upward, not downward. That helps to different heights of meditation. So, wastage of sex vitality is another cause for physical fatigueness. 6 to 7 hours of sleep next is important. But overdoing that, you will drug the body. Body will become so tired if you eat, you lie down too much also. That's why Krishna says, Yukta aharasya viharasya, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Yukta swapna avabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Moderation in sleep is also important. Inflexible joints. Next, make your body flexible by daily stretching exercises like yoga, etc. Beyond 40, walking and swimming are excellent providers of flexibility. Do not try acrobat when you are in 60. So these are all from Paramahamsa Yogananda in this author of Autobiography of Yogi, and the founder of SRF. So he has given these things to us. Next. Health is metabolic efficiency. Sickness is metabolic inefficiency. Nobody is totally healthy and are totally sick. Each of us have got a unique combination of health and disease. And each of us has a unique combination of ability and disability, both emotional and physical. So no two people can have the same health. Or when you say X is healthy, that same standard would not help Y to be healthy. So each one is a unique instrument, and therefore we must understand the ability, inability, efficiency, inefficiency of each individual. That is why in the ancient medicine practices, the medicine is not common for everybody. They check every patient and check what he or she is capable of taking, and what kind of dietary that person should go through. Next, as we grow up, we learn that we are loved for our abilities but hated for our disabilities. This happens at home, at play, at school, at work. Sometimes this even happens with our doctors, especially if our disabilities mystify them or remind them of their own disabilities. Because we must understand each one is a unique individual, and you cannot have a general treatment for everybody. That's not right. And people love for what we are capable of, and certain things which cannot do, people are aware of that, and then they make ridiculous. I mean, that is sure. So one should not focus too much on one's weakness and try to, too depressed about it and feeling bad about it. Focus more on what you are capable of, what you are able to do, and strengthen that aspect of it. You will feel healthy. Let us say if you are physically not feeling, physically not a very attractive person, does not matter. Your abilities are much greater. Prove yourself there. So instead of that, I'm not attractive, nobody looks at me, and then you go on crying about it. You feel very unhealthy about yourself. Third, so try to hide your disabilities from people, from ourselves. So we try to hide disabilities from people and from ourselves. This charade undermines our relationship with our own self-esteem. We learn to fear society and hate ourselves, which is what I said. So trying to hide your disabilities and say that I am like this, and then you are always afraid that people would dislike you for that. That makes your self-esteem to go down. Fourth, self-hatred is the most debilitating sickness. It interferes with our ability to seek and accept help, and everybody needs help. How do we free ourselves from self-hatred? First, we reclaim our disabilities, whether society accepts them or not. This means that we learn to accept ourselves. Then we cope with our disabilities. This means that we learn to take care of ourselves. So this is the reason why positive thinking or such workshops where individually a person is treated for what he or she is capable of, and giving more self-esteem to that person by showing what he or she is capable of. And that also helps your physical health to improve. Otherwise, we as parents also don't constantly talk about what a child cannot do. You keep on talking about it, that person will, and the child will grow low in self-esteem. So make sure that you you treat the other person with what he or she is capable of. When you wake up in the morning, do you cause the fact that you have to go to work? Oh my God, again Monday I have to go to work. Other times you complain about weather. I think this place is so much of heat, so much of humidity, so much of that. Next, do you grumble that your back or the head hurts? Next, do you yell at the children when you get up? Next, most people say more or less the same thing every morning. How does that what you say start your day? Is it positive and cheerful and wonderful, or it is whining and condemning? Next, if you grumble and complain and moan, you are setting yourself up for such a day. So the beginning of the day, how your state of mind determines how your day will be. If the early morning you start complaining and then crying or shouting and then criticizing or ridiculing, blaming yourself, and then feeling bad that you have to get up and go to work, you're already creating such a momentum in your mind. And that continues. So begin the day, therefore, prayer, meditation, worship, exercise, workout, healthy. So what happens is you feel yourself good about yourself. So then there is a positive outlook out in the world. I am here to make a change in myself and what I do. Let me do things differently. Let me not react the way I did yesterday. Let me do something which makes somebody else happy in life. I used to tell a story. One person who was moderately rich, and he had a habit of giving one fruit to a person in his life every day. Every day he has to give one fruit to somebody. So he was doing that. Every day he would give. And he was very happy and that he was able to do that. And then throughout his life he was doing that. Then he died. Next birth he became a very rich person. So he recalled that, I did a good deed last birth and that's why I'm rich now. So he continued the same of giving one fruit a day throughout his life in the next birth also. And Following birth, he became extremely poor. So he was so unhappy. He complained to God, why is that I did the same thing when I was giving one fruit a day, you made me rich, and I continued that, now why you made me very poor? The God appeared in front of him and said, when you are moderately rich, one fruit a day is fine. When you are rich, you should have given more. You didn't do that. Therefore, you are not worth that richness. Go back to the poverty. You see, so our ability to share and be useful to the people should be max utilized. When you are healthy, when you are capable of using that ability, do it. When you are not, of course, when as one grows old, one may not be as much, one cannot serve. So you will not have the regret of not done anything. So begin the day with a cheerful countenance, saying that, okay, I want to be useful to the world. Next. Switched off. Wonderful. Okay. What happened? Now, physical symptoms. Is your stomach acidic, churning? Are you short of breath? Is there tightness across your chest? Are your palms sweaty? Is your forearm tense? Can you feel blood pulsations in forehead and throat? Are your rear teeth clenched? Do you have nervousness in the eye? Do you have leg twitches? Is your feet finger tapping? Does it itch? These are all physical symptoms. Psychological symptoms: inability to concentrate, neglect of responsibility, loss of appetite, memory loss, irritability, feeling of hopelessness, nameless fears, loss of self-esteem. If you have all these, you are stressed. All of them need not be there, a few of them. So the solution for that is next: becoming mindful of what you do, who you are, where you are heading is essential for managing this. It begins with understanding your thoughts. So I'm just next. Spiritual health is breaking down the barriers between inert matter and the spirit within. When spirit is revealed, body is no more a burden. Until then, you can never truly enjoy the eternal health. So, next talk is going to be on exclusively on spiritual health. Today, what we saw is how the body and mind are interconnected, the food habits, and how the mental conditions can create physical symptoms, and how we can take the proper care of food, what a food contains, how much to eat, and what are the other causes for fatigue, and what are the remedies. So many other things we saw today. Next talk will be on what exactly is spiritual health, right? So that we will see on 8th of July. Um, because July 1st, as you all know, long weekend. So all of you will be weekend, and that long weekend. So that we do not have on July 1st, we will have it on July 8th, right? Very good. Next. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरि ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. Hari Om. Anybody has questions, please ask. I have just 10 minutes for that.
Anybody wants to ask questions?
If these things are considered by you as happiness, preoccupation of the mind is considered as happiness, that is where we make the mistake. So such people who think preoccupying the mind with something or the other is happiness are busy with those things. All of us. Whereas when you understand emptying the mind is real happiness, then you see. Not by sleep, huh? By understanding the thoughts that are trying to occupy you with somebody, play with that. Don't allow it. Move out. That is not happiness. In the absence of all these agitating thoughts, my mind is already happy. Just like in sleep where the mind is having no thought, are you not happy about it? With no source outside, you are happy. With no events outside, you are happy. With no happening outside, you are happy. So, the spiritual masters say that true happiness is in not occupying the mind in anything. That is what is called moment-to-moment happiness, living. Living in the moment. Living in your mind without it being occupied with anything else. Let us say that I am coming to your home and trying to talk to you, and you take your phone and, acha, theek hai, baito. And next to half an hour you are talking to somebody. What do I do? Looking at you. Is it not that you feel insulted? You are being ignored. When the same way, the happiness which is already there is being ignored by our preoccupations. We get only glimpses of it. So, when your mind is fully available for yourself and not occupied with anything else is called the moment-to-moment living, and that is where the true happiness is. Only when you discover that in your seat of meditation, in the quietude of your own mind, you understand that that is what is called moment-to-moment living. So, that knowledge, correct understanding should happen, but not only young people, many others also addicted to many things. What can we do? Their understanding of happiness is wrong. Any other question? Okay? Next week, July 8th, we'll meet. Let me finish. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Please stay back for announcements. Thanks.